Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. It's Christine with gaugegirltraining, an online meal planning and coaching service. In today's video, I'm going to answer the question, how much cardio should you do for your body type? So let's get started. So ever since I did this YouTube video on how to lose fat faster for endomorphs, and I started giving tips on the best type of cardio for endomorphs, I decided that it would make a lot of sense for me to do a video encompassing what type of cardio is best for each of the body types. So let's get into it. Now, the first body type I'm going to talk about is the ectomorph. Now, the ectomorph tends to be a naturally lean physique that has a hard time adding muscle mass. And as a result of that, the ectomorph that needs to be very strategic with the type of cardio and how much they do. Now, a fitness plan that is firmly rooted with a foundation of weight training is going to be very important. But the problem with ectomorphs is that they have such a high metabolism that any extra cardio is going to make it very hard to hold on to muscle mass. Therefore, as a result of that, they are going to need to be very dialed in with the nutrition, and that typically means eating substantially more than you are used to, specifically higher in the carbohydrate range. But the cardio for ectomorphs needs to be reduced to the minimum amount needed for general daily health. Now, we're talking about 3 20 to 30 minute sessions of cardio as a maximum per week for the ectomorph. Now, I have a lot of ectomorph clients who are marathon runners, distance runners, and they're like, Christine, I love running. I don't want to stop running. What do I do? Well, if you want to do lots and lots of cardio as an ectomorph, you can. However, you are going to have to eat substantially more to accommodate that, so that way all of that extra cardio does not burn away your muscle mass that you're working so hard to gain. So for this reason, I encourage the ectomorphs to resist the urge to add more and more and more cardio, thinking that it's going to get you leaner and leaner and leaner faster, because it is not. You really only need to do 2 to 3 times a week, 20 to 30 minutes. But if you do choose to do more because you just generally enjoy cardio, you have to dial up the nutrition to balance it out. Now, mesomorphs. So I'm a mesomorph body type, and mesomorphs have an efficient metabolism where it is relatively easy for them to gain lean muscle mass. It is relatively easy for them to lose body fat. So with mesomorphs, you need to have a firm combination of both strength training as well as balanced cardio. Now, what do I mean by that? Now, for the mesomorph, I'm going to break this down into 3 categories. One with respect to general health, the next one with moderate fat loss, and then the next one being accelerated fat loss. So for general health, you guys have to remember, as a mesomorph, you can't just skip out on cardio because the heart is a muscle. The heart needs to pump, and it has to have the blood flowing through it to remain healthy, just like all of your other muscles. If you don't use it, you're going to have declining health properties in those specific areas. So the heart is a muscle, you guys. So for general health, for mesomorph, I recommend 20 minutes of at least walking daily, just for general health. Now, for moderate fat loss, you're going to want to be in that 3 to 5 times a week, probably a minimum of 30 minutes of cardio, holding your heart rate at 130 beats per minute. Now, for accelerated fat loss as a mesomorph, you can go up to in that 5 to 7 times a week. Again, now if you're going to be doing in that 5 to 7 times a week and you really want to maximize it, you probably want to push it closer from 35 even up to 45 minutes for the fastest, most accelerated possible results at a minimum target heart rate of 130 beats per minute for your steady state cardio sessions. Now, regardless of whether you're doing moderate or accelerated fat loss, in general, I recommend a 50-50 split between steady state cardio and HIIT cardio, where HIIT is high intensity interval training. There are some reasons why you would want to shift towards all HIIT. There are other reasons why you'd want to shift towards all steady state. Now, I do not recommend doing HIIT every day for mesomorphs, and here's why. So with HIIT cardio, you really don't need to do it more than a maximum of 3 times a week. It's an effective tool when you have a very concentrated amount of time and you want to maximize the benefit of that workout. But if you overdo it with HIIT and that's all you ever do and you never balance it out with some steady state, you run into the problem of potential injuries, potentially overtraining, as well as preventing your muscles from having sufficient time to fully recover, because HIIT is not just cardio, you're also including specific emphasis on specific muscles in addition to that. So if you want to do one of those Orange Theory style workouts, because you have very limited time and that's what you want to do, that's fine, but just try to keep it at a max of 3 times a week and buffer it in, or 50% of your total cardio to be HIIT. Last but not least, for my mesomorphs, just be careful again to not burn out on HIIT, because sometimes it is a little bit more beneficial to do some slower, steady movements for your mental health, to opt in maybe like a hot yoga class that's going to have some more intense breathing where your heart rate still will be elevated. So just don't feel that you need to do HIIT all the time if you are a mesomorph, because you don't. Now for my endomorphs. So endomorphs have a tendency to hold on to body fat the most. They gain muscle quite easily. They don't have a problem adding size to their physique, but they have the biggest struggle to lose body fat. As a result of that, for general health, for my endomorph clients, I recommend getting a minimum of 5,000 steps every day. Do not move. So just getting in the habit of going on daily walks is a fantastic place to begin for general health for the endomorph. Now, for moderate fat loss as an endomorph, you are probably going to want to work out and get some cardio in a minimum of 5 times a week, and that's for moderate fat loss. And the reason I'm saying this is because you can't just do a couple sessions a week like the ectomorphs. Mesomorphs who have been at this for a longer period of time can get away with 3 to 4 times once they've hit their health goal. But for my endomorphs, unfortunately, guys, you do not have that luxury. You are going to need to elevate that cardio up for moderate fat loss to a minimum of 5 times a week. And for the sessions, guys, 30 to 45 minutes, you probably want to be closer to that 45-minute range for moderate fat loss. Now for accelerated fat loss, you're going to want to be in that 6 to 7 times a week for those sessions. Now with these sessions, you are probably going to want to do a combination of both fasted cardio in the morning and probably a 30-minute HIIT session after your weight training, probably 3 times a week. So fasted cardio daily for accelerated fat loss, 30 minutes of HIIT post weight training 3 times a week. So I'm asking my endomorphs to do double cardio 3 times a week for accelerated fat loss. Now, you do not have to do this. This is for those of you who are like, okay, Christine, I'm ready. Tell me what to do. I will do whatever you say. That is what you should do. So guys, not trying to be the bearer of bad news, not trying to write you guys a death sentence here, but I am trying to tell you what is effective based off of my one-on-one experience in working side by side with endomorph clients. So what should you do? Now, for my pear-shaped endomorph clients, you guys are going to want to stay away from any form of cardio that is more concentrated in the lower body. So the spinning, the stair mills, things that are very lower body centric. You don't really want to do that type of stuff. You really want more total body. So running, I find, is the most effective for my pear-shaped endomorphs. Now for my apple-shaped endomorphs, you have a little bit more flexibility. I recommend kickboxing is fantastic for my apple-shaped endomorphs. Any form of cardio equipment, if you're an apple shape, you can do the bikes, you can do things with lower body on them. It's just for my pears. My pear-shaped endomorphs, no matter what they do, they cannot slim out the lower body, which is why those types of movements help concentrate the muscle in those regions. So if you're an apple-shaped endomorph, anything total body oriented will be fine. Running is still going to be one of the best possible things, but kickboxing is a really good intense form of training that you can use for cardio, as long as you're hitting your heart over 130 beats per minute for your steady state cardio, over 150 beats per minute for your high intensity intervals for your HIIT workouts. So I hope this was helpful to you guys. If you have additional questions, please comment below, and I will see you guys in the next one.